There are 3 specific chicken predators that you should be keeping your chickens safe from at all costs. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to keep your chickens safe from all 3 of these predators, with the last one I'm going to be talking about being the most urgent one that you should be preparing for. Let's waste no more time and jump right into this. The first predator I'm going to start off by talking about today is a predator that you would not expect me to put on this list whatsoever, but I'm still putting it on here because of just how simply urgent this would be. And I'm talking about hawks. Now the reason why hawks are on this list isn't because of how many chickens they can attack at once. In fact, they only attack 1 chicken per day if they really feel the need to. The reason is just simply because they don't have all that time on their hands. They're not huge. Most chickens are actually bigger as far as weight is concerned, but this predator is really cunning and is able to easily go out of their way to attack a chicken flock if necessary. You should be protecting your chickens from this predator at all costs by doing all of these preventative measures right here. So first of all, you want to keep them close to your house, as what I notice is that they tend to attack your chickens when they're a bit further away from the house and when you're not close. Like, they do not like you at all. But if you keep them closer to the house and you're out there more frequently, they're going to tend to back off just a little bit more. Another cool thing that you could do is you could build some cinder block structures like what I'm showing on screen right now, where you just simply place 2 cinder blocks and a piece of plywood on top. It takes no more than 5 minutes to build, and it shouldn't really be that difficult to build. Other than that though, another thing you can do is a bit more tedious, and it's called putting wired mesh over your yard. And if you happen to free range your chickens, it's simply impossible, or if you have a larger yard. For my pet flock, it would be possible to have that happen, but it is a really annoying process. We tried this back in 2020, never did it again. It's really up to you when it comes down to deciding how you're going to protect, but shoot at least 1 or 2 of these 3 preventative measures in place to help keep them safe from this predator. Another huge predator I'm about to talk about are fishers or fisher cats. Now these guys, they're going to really hit close to home if you live up here in New England, just like me, because they're really common out here in the higher terrain, just simply because of the abundance of food that they have out here. Now these guys, they're not that big. The average chicken in my flock is around 6 or 7 pounds. They're only a pound or 2 heavy, weighing around 8 to 9 pounds on average, so they're not that big. Now do not let their weight fool you. They are not going to back down on any given prey that they find, especially our chickens. Those are their favorites to attack. So here's how you're going to keep them safe. Now for starters, I would like to mention these guys are at night and they like to make their presence known. It will sound like somebody is screaming, but in fact it's not someone screaming, it's actually a fisher cat trying to kill all your chickens. Now here's the thing. These guys, they don't just go after 1 chicken and dip. They break into that coop at night, it's wraps for every single one of your chickens. You're going to wake up, they're all going to just be dead. They're not even going to be like relocated. They're just going to be all dead and maybe one's missing. So here's how you're going to do it. So for starters, you want your coop to be as secure as possible. I've recommended this video to a lot of you guys. Up there in the top right corner of the screen is a video for you to build a perfect chicken coop. But with that out of the way though, that's one of the biggest things. You should never also use chicken wire anywhere in your chicken coop. You should replace it with all the protective measurements. And if you're going to use if you're going to have your windows open, like some people have windows on their chicken coops that they can leave open at night, you should really try to make sure there's protective materials. They're just going to easily claw right through the basic window screen. Never ever just leave that as their main option. And finally, another thing that you should really be doing right now is having an electric fence. Keeping them fenced in general is going to protect them from like 80% of the on-land predators. But keeping an electric fence is really going to keep them as safe as possible in the overnight hours. So always ensure that they're safe using an electric fence. And if not, just build a really tall fence and use all the preventative measurements. As I said, at least 1 or 2 of these should in general keep them safe. And if you at least have a really strong chicken coop, then as long as you have at least partially of the other 2, then you should be good to go. Now let's talk about the final predator. These are coyotes or wolves, depending on where you are. If you're out west, you're probably wolves. But if you're out here in New England like me, they're probably just coyotes or huge coyotes like we have. But either way though, regardless of the size, their threat is still equal regardless if you have a 15-pound coyote or a 50-pound wolf attacking your chickens. The outcome will be the same. These guys love killing all your chickens, and sometimes you'll find a couple bodies because they're going to come back later for those. Now here's how to protect your chickens. There is really no known way to keep your chickens safe from coyotes because they're just going to keep coming back and back. Your best bet is to always keep them as close as possible to your house, that way you can at least scare them off and keep the attacks to a minimum. But there's no really definitive way to 100% eliminate these attacks, unlike the other nocturnal predators. Unlike the other guys, these guys, especially here in the Northeast, they're out 24/7. There's nothing stopping them from attacking your chickens if it's 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock in the morning, because they're still going to strike regardless. When they see an easy food source, they're going to go right for it. But anyways, if you guys want to figure out how to create the perfect chicken flock, you should click this video here in the center of the screen, and if not, you'll find a bunch of other chicken videos here on the channel, which I'm pretty sure you guys are going to enjoy.